Here's Brody Brazil.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to 2023. You've already seen the title, you see the graphic here over my shoulder. I feel like I owe all of you a bit of an explanation on why the Sharks Night Shift live streams have kind of hit a sudden pause back in the month of December. And by the way, shout outs to Right Field Will. He hit me up on Twitter saying, I miss these, what's going on? And it made me realize I've been meaning to even provide an explanation of what's been going on behind the scenes. So here I am making a video instead of doing it any other way. First off, I want to establish this. I'm somebody who hates to promise something and then not be able to follow through or deliver. That's how I live my personal life with friends and family and coworkers and my employer. If I say I'm going to do something, I will absolutely do whatever it takes to make sure that I can follow through on it. So I feel terrible even here in the sense of just doing YouTube live streams after hockey games that I said I was going to do it. I said I was going to do even more, in fact, and here I am for most of the month of December and into January, and it's been a while since they've come out on any regular basis. And that is the backstory, right? I started these in 2021 with the pandemic shortened season. I came home, I did them after games. It was great. It kind of got me motivated to do all of them last year that I did. Pretty much for every game that I was working, I go upstairs in the conference room of our NBC Sports studios, and it became quite the thing, right? The viewership was good, the feedback was good, the amount of content I could make was good, and it gave me a platform to talk Sharks with all of you, even more than we already do on social and on television. And I also had even bigger plans for Sharks Night Shift. Like I wanted to expand the brand, so to speak. Wanted to bring on some of my coworkers and analysts and have some of you join via Zoom and telephone calls like Sharks fan summits. I wanted to do all of that as part of the Night Shift operation. But quite honestly, as December of this month hit, I got a little busier. The holidays happened. I was not feeling tremendously well for most of the month of December and some other things which I'll get into here. I kind of had to hit the sudden pause button, and I didn't announce it. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to make a big deal of it, but I do really want to explain it here. There are a couple complications for me to keep this going. It's not just one thing. If it were one thing, I think I'd be able to find a way through it. But there are a couple things going against me with continuing these, at least for right now, after hockey games. The first and maybe biggest one is that my son goes to school this year now, which was different from last year on an everyday basis and the time he's going to school. And it puts me waking up pretty much every weekday morning at about 7 a.m. And what happens is, like West Coast hockey games are over by 10:30. I'm doing the stream by 10:40. I'm finishing up the stream by like 11:15. I'm in San Francisco. I still have to pack everything up, go home. By the time I get home, I make some clips of that live stream to publish the next day. It's 1 a.m. before my head hits the pillow. And then I'm up again at 6 o'clock. And there are some days off in between, don't get me wrong, but the 6 hours of sleep sometimes interrupted on a regular basis. That's one of the biggest deals for me that I've realized this year that's making it a lot harder on me. There's other complications like the fact that I used to just leave all my stuff, my streaming equipment at work out in the conference room because we were in a different state of operation. People weren't necessarily there in the office for 2021 for most of the year. That has changed now here in late 22, entering 2023. So I can't just leave my stuff all over the place. I have to pack it up, set it up, pack it up, set it up. And all of that takes an additional time and toll for Night Shift to get done. And then last but certainly not least, in fact, this is one of the bigger aspects, is that I've started a new YouTube channel, but I've also rekindled a third one of mine. So I've got Home Studio Pro, which is brand new as of December, and I've refueled the aviation channel that I started in late 2021. And you haven't necessarily seen all the effort and work that's gone into that because I have a lot of videos that have been created already and uploaded. They just haven't published yet. So I've been trying to get ahead of the curve and put a lot of effort into those two other channels. And so all of that put together, the early wake-up calls, the shortened, sleep opportunities, the stuff at work, or I can't, leave my gear all around the office whenever I want, like I was able to do before, and these two other channels, all those things put together have just made it hard for me to consistently do Sharks Night Shift live streams. Now, maybe that's all the explanation that you need. Maybe you're just going to tune out, but I do want to offer even a little bit more here. Me stopping has nothing to do with the struggles of the team. I want to make that clear. I talk about these guys all the time still. I make videos whenever I can. I'm making an explanation for this. It has nothing to do with, the rough season that this team has been going through. Let me also just say, in a weird way, like if this is as bad as it gets for the Sharks and trying to rebuild the franchise and point it in the right direction and figure out where to go from here, man, I guess it just shows the dedication, because I still love this stuff all the time. Making videos, doing television shows, chatting with all of you. It's a different conversation than we've had for, most of the 2010s about what playoff opponent will we see in round 1, 2, or 3 this year. It's a different conversation, but it gets me. It interests me. It hooks me. So it has nothing to do with the way the season has been going. I do feel like I would be a bit repetitive sometimes on these live streams based on results and gameplay. But again, I'm willing to go down that road. It's just all these other things which have kind of got in the way. So let me close it with this. It was just that, the reward of doing Night Shift, it still exists, but it wasn't great enough. Like, it wasn't a must-do thing. It was something that I looked at and said, I love this. I still want to do this. I hope there's time and space for this in the future. But as of right now, a couple dominoes falling just get right in my way of doing this on any regular basis. So I do miss it. I do miss live chatting with all of you. And I will do more live streams here in the beginning of 2023. I will get back to more of that when I get the opportunity. It just probably won't be on game nights. Certainly at those late hours. And, honestly, I mean, what's the audience I expect to be tuning in from 10:45? This is like after our post-game show on television, from like 10:45 to 11:15 p.m. I mean, it's like 2, 3 in the morning out east and across the rest of the country and globally where I'm broadcasting to on YouTube. So it was tough. I enjoyed it. I stuck with it for a long time. I hope to get back to it at some point, but just here and now, it's something that I had to put on the side, had to put on the back burner. But I just wanted to offer that explanation. I apologize to all of you for saying I was going to do it and not being able to do it. I don't really know the future, if February or March might bring it back, or what's going to exist the rest of the way. But please know this channel right here, very much dedicated to sports, very much dedicated to the Oakland A's and the San Jose Sharks, the two teams that I cover professionally and grew up with. And I might try some new things here on the channel, but just know I strive to maintain this as one of the best places to come to as it relates to Sharks content and insightful things and forward-thinking things about the team and stuff you really won't get anywhere else. So thanks for being here. I probably went way too long on that, but I wanted to explain it, and I hope you understand.